I'm waiting for the truck to get here. Today, the Rabbit is being delivered. So I'm having to meet me in a Walmart parking lot. Since there's a lot of room here, it's an 18-wheeler auto transport trailer, so I'll have plenty of room to get in here. So should be any minute now, so I'll start recording again when it gets here. Take a look at the car. Well, she's here. All in one piece. They're just unloading a couple cars now to get her off. Let's take a closer look at it when she's actually off the trailer. Good thing it's not too slammed. There we go. What's up? I'm at the house. So I want to show off the Rabbit. Oh, that's a front lid. Basically in the stage that it is now, so I can go back a year or two from now and see where the car goes, and, you know, all the stuff I did and all that cool stuff. Now it's been a couple days, actually about a week in between filming from when I got the car. I had a bunch of stuff going on. I moved into a new apartment and stuff like that. So I already did a couple things too, like I swapped the wheels from the Jetta over to the Rabbit. Did a couple things under the hood. It wasn't running that great, so I kind of went through a few things. I'll talk about it as I show. So anyway, here it is. She's black, 2007, 43,000 miles. Previous owner is John Quackenbush from Washington State. Check that out, FLA07K. Oh yeah. So here's the Jetta. I did get a new trunk on it so far. I'm going to pull the back end out and straighten it all out, put a new bumper crash beam on it, re-register it, and it'll be my backup vehicle. Probably go back to being a daily, honestly. But anyway, so here's the Rabbit. I'm showing the hood real quick. A couple things that I did. Oh, look at that reflection. Welcome to Florida. Alright. I haven't actually cleaned the engine bay yet. That's just something that I would take forever to do, so I just haven't made the time yet. So when I first got the car, the air filter, the air filter was pretty dirty. Instead of cleaning it, I just put another one on. It's a K&N filter, but I actually removed all the red oil from it, 100%, like super clean and dry. I don't like the oil, but I like the size of this particular filter. I was actually going to use it on the Jetta, because with the inlet size and the overall dimensions, it's exactly what I needed for that one. I decided to go ahead and throw it on the Rabbit just because it was a fresh air filter. Anyway, there was the piping was coming straight here, and there was actually a 90-degree elbow, and previous owner kind of suggested that I get rid of the elbow and make a straight path to the mass airflow sensor. I'm guessing he had some problems, or at least in theory he thought it was causing some problems. So I did that actually last night because the car was running pretty crappy. Last night I found that the T-fitting here for the diverter valve to the intake manifold that runs back to the boost gauge was cracked. I didn't actually notice it at first. I was going to take off the diverter valve and inspect it for leaks, you know, see if anything was messed up with it, and the T-fitting broke off in my hand. So I went ahead and replaced the T-fitting last night. Kind of redid some of the hoses here for the diverter valve. With some, actually this is a cut up spoolin vacuum pump block off hose kit. Sue me. Anyway, it works. Got the straight path for the mass airflow sensor. I cleaned the mass airflow sensor when I put the filter on. I put my red top coils over from the Jetta. I thought maybe I had a bad coil going on because it was misfiring and hesitating real bad under a load. That didn't fix the problem, but why not? So I got, you know, good working coils in both cars. I put some NGK BKR7E plugs in the Rabbit. It looked like OEM NGK plugs in it. They looked a little old, and they had too big of a gap. So I gapped them to 0.028 for the turbo application. Let's see, what else did I do? So far, all that stuff did seem to make it run better, especially the fitting. Obviously, that's a big problem when you have a boost leak. It was running so bad yesterday I had plans to go show up at a meet, make a quick appearance to see a few people there, and then drive down to see my girlfriend, which is about an hour drive, and I couldn't make it. So I fixed that problem, and I went and tested it last night, and it was running perfect. Like around 40 minutes, beating on it, making sure it's hot, and driving it, getting into boost, going to stop signs, taking off, under load, light load, everything. Hopefully no more problems there. Also, when I got the car, it wouldn't go into second gear or fourth gear, and come to find out, so the previous owner had someone swap the clutch for him, a mechanic that I guess wasn't too familiar with this particular car, or I mean, to be honest, there was so much wrong. It's not a German car thing. Anyway, this clip right here for the linkage was missing, so the whole cable was moving back and forth out of the bracket. So that's why I would not find second and fourth. I went ahead and went to the junkyard and got these clips out of a like a 2001 Beetle 5-speed. So they're the same clips, because this actually is a transmission from a Mark IV Jetta TDI or Golf TDI, whichever one, 02JB. So now it shifts perfectly. The mechanic that did the clutch kit also installed the diverter valve backwards, so I flopped that around like the first night, and it drove a lot better. And I noticed that the reservoir lid here for the brake fluid reservoir, this tab, which sits in this recession, was actually over here, so the top was not screwed all the way down flush like it's supposed to be, so it was leaking brake fluid. What else did I find? There's a couple weird things. I went ahead and replaced the oil cap because it was broken. So I did a few things to the car. I did not change the oil yet, but the previous owner said the oil had very low miles on it. It just been in there for a few years, but it looked clean. It didn't have many miles on it, so I'm gonna change it here in a couple days, but didn't do it yet. So last night it was running great. I went and tested it and drove it hard to make sure everything was good. Had a little run-in with a Mark VI GTI Stage 2, and we are actually neck and neck. This car probably should beat him, but you know, I feel like it still has a boost leak somewhere, so I gotta go through it. But it was running pretty good, and it's not that bad. You know, Stage 2 Mark VI makes quite a bit of torque. So anyway, I got a new coolant expansion tank for it. I got some new coolant, so I'm gonna be flushing that soon. And yeah, I'm gonna do some cosmetic stuff a little bit. So I'll show you the inside. So it might be hard to see, but a little dirty. I haven't cleaned anything really yet. I cleaned the windows in and out, wiped the dash down, that's all I did. Cloth seats. I never really wanted cloth seats because they just didn't look too fancy or whatever. But honestly, they're very comfortable, and being in Florida, whether your AC works or not, it doesn't even matter. It gets so hot. Get away from the sun. It gets so hot, at least with no tint on the windows, that you know, you're just sweating your ass off in these leather seats that I have in the Jetta. So I actually like the cloth seats now. I went ahead and, you know, had to represent, put a couple extra stickers I had on the Rabbit. Oh, I'm glad I don't know the guy's name, and I probably wouldn't shout it out anyway, but the previous owner's mechanic that did the work on the car, the axle flange bolts were all loose, half of them were backing out, the wheel bolts for the hubs were loose. There was all kinds of stuff that just was not done right, and I can't believe it, because I've never been a certified mechanic. You know, I've always worked on my own cars that I've owned and never worked professionally as a mechanic. I worked at a dealership, worked at a couple places doing general service, and that's it. And there's no way a car touched by me would be left alone like that. So that's crazy. Nothing against previous owner. He's actually an awesome dude. But the mechanic didn't really care about the car, I guess. So yeah, swapped the wheels over, new tires. The tires that came on the Rabbit are actually good too, so I just threw them on the Jetta, so whenever I re-legalize it in my name from having the salvage title mailed back, I'll be able to drive it. And yeah, I guess that's all I got for now. So this is pretty much the beginning stages of the Rabbit. Just went through and fixed a few things that was not allowing it to run right. A few mechanical discrepancies. So I'm going to clean it up and eventually change things up on the setup how I want it to be, so I can make more power. I already talked to United Motorsports about the reflash and Pro Math, so that'll be coming soon enough. And now I think it is officially time to change the name of the YouTube channel to FLA07K like I planned. I wanted to do an introductory video to the Rabbit, in which, by the way, maybe I'm a little too passionate about this. I don't know. The Jetta, I had the license plate on it that said 5-banger. Well, I still have the plate in my possession as a credit to, whenever I legalize another car. So the Rabbit's going to be FLA07K, the Jetta's going to be 5-banger. I'm going to have them both legalized so I can drive them whenever something breaks on one of them. So yeah, that's all I got for now. Stay tuned.